What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here with the review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 13, episode number 12. Front page news is the episode and that title of the episode. Why did I do that? All right, you guys. So without further ado, let's get into this episode review, shall we? All right, you guys. So Cynthia, I was about to say, who the hell is Wanda? So Cynthia's at home with Mike. Now she's talking to Mike about the fact that her mother's dress for the wedding is not coming on time like they wanted it to. That dress is supposed to come 6 days after the wedding happens, which that's not good. Was her mother in the wedding? You know, and that's something else that I want to talk. I was confused about because the preview for next week's episode is Cynthia's wedding. So I'm wondering if Bravo took the footage because Bravo's cameras weren't there, but they have footage of the wedding. So I'm assuming they probably took the footage from the videographers that were already there and just edited it into the episode. That is, I really hope Bravo gave those videographers their credit. Ooh, I hope they give it to them. But Cynthia got a FaceTime from Drew, that wig that was on Drew's head. She looked like Wanda from Holiday Heart. I mean, she looked like Wanda. So they talk about the fact, so Drew was going to sing at the wedding. Oh, Mike is shady. Oh, Mike Hill is shady. So Drew was going to sing at the wedding, and she wanted to know if they liked Angel of Mine by Monica. Oh my God, Mike. Sorry, you guys. I didn't mean to hit the microphone. Mike is shady. She's like, do y'all like Angel of Monica? He said, yeah, I like it when she sings it. I was like, oh, that was shade. Shady, but it was funny. Oh God, that was hilarious. So they're talking about this event that Marlo's gonna have. I guess like it's a harvesting. What the hell was it? Because it's actually in my notes. A harvest party. So Cynthia says that she's not going to be able to make it because, you know, she has to go and get a dress for her mom for the wedding. So it's just going to be the rest of the ladies going. Again, Mike was being shady about her singing, but it was good shade. But let's move on. Oh, shit, you guys. I forgot about, we had another scene with Cynthia. So Cynthia has so much stuff going on with the wedding. One of the groomsmen was not going to be there. I do remember her speaking about this. I think it might have been on Candy's Speak on it when she was talking about the fact that, see, that's, now here's the other thing. How was, because this editing is off. Because the episode is off. Well, I think the editing is off. Because I remember watching her Candy speak on it when Cynthia was on there. Because Cynthia said about the wedding, two of her bridesmaids were not going to be able to make it because one of them has a pre-existing condition. So she couldn't make it because of her pre-existing condition, and Cynthia didn't want to put her at risk. So that's when she asked Candy to be a bridesmaid. And Candy, you know, accepted. So I was wondering when was this shit filmed? Huh. Like, what is the order? Because I remember earlier in the season when they had that engagement party. So what's the timeline? Because from how I interpreted on the speak on it, okay, whatever. I'm not going to even keep thinking about it. So Cynthia and Mal, they in the car together, and Mal gets an alert on her phone from, it's about page 6. And they are speaking about this situation at the, you know, Cynthia's bachelorette party where two of the Atlanta cast members, you know, had slept with the stripper and each other. Oh, we're not going to see Tanya anymore. Oh, poor Tanya. I just thought about that. But yeah, page 6. And you know, the producers asked Cynthia, who does she think leaked that story to the blogs? We know who leaked it. It was Kenya. We know exactly who leaked that, and we know exactly who leaked that story to the blogs. Kenya. You can't tell me Kenya didn't do it. I know, and I know one of my subscribers. I think it was Micheline. I think it was Micheline that told me that Kenya is friends with B. Scott. So, so here's the interesting question: who had the story first? Who had the story first? Because I remember when I saw it, it was on the Shade Room. That's where I initially saw the story. I didn't see page 6. I saw it on the Shade Room. So I don't know where the Shade. I don't know if it came from page. Who put it? I don't know who put it out first. But like I said, I know I saw the story on the Shade Room, and I was like, oh shit. When I saw it, I'm like, oh, they're filming. That means Real Housewives of Atlanta is literally right around the corner. And literally, it was right around the corner because I think all this stuff happened. It was during the summer, but I want to say this was like August, September when all this stuff happened. Actually, I think it was September. I'm like, this show must be coming back really soon for them to be leaking stories. That's my issue with Atlanta and Potomac. Now, I will say right now with Potomac, I don't know anything that's going on, and I'm actually quite happy to not know what's going on in Potomac. I'm happy about that. So that way, when we get to season 6 of Potomac, the storylines will just be that. The storylines. We won't know, which we will know a little bit because we do know that Karen and Giselle are currently going back and forth with each other on social media. And really, truly, Karen going at Giselle because of stuff Giselle says on Bravo's chat room, especially a few weeks ago when she was talking about Karen's ring. But that's neither here nor there. But going forward with Atlanta and Potomac, I just want them to stop leaking stories to the fucking blogs. Like, I just want them to stop leaking the stories to the blogs. That takes away from the show. That takes away from the excitement of a fan. Like, I like watching the show and not knowing what's going to happen. That has been the thing for me with the last few seasons of Potomac and Atlanta, especially Atlanta itself. Because season 12, it was Snakegate. And then the ladies kept talking about Snakegate all season long. I mean, all season. All the ladies on social, they would be on social media. Like Eva was like, it's going to come back up. Snakegate is going to come back up. Portia did it. All of the ladies talked about Snakegate last season. Now this season was Strippergate. And then last season of Potomac was the altercation between Candace and Monique. Just keep the stuff out the blogs. That's all we ask. Like, how is it that New Jersey, Beverly Hills, we don't even know what's going on in Beverly Hills, and it's so much scandal in Beverly Hills, and we don't know nothing about what they're filming. So yeah, I just want Atlanta and Potomac just to keep it out the blogs. But let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys, next let's discuss Kenya. So we see Kenya, and she's at home, and she calls her dad. I literally forgot how shady her daddy was. Like, I forgot about how blunt that man is. So it's Brooklyn's birthday, and I was confused. Who was Kenya talking about inviting? Was she talking about inviting some of Mark's people and her family? Like, I was confused who she was talking about inviting, because her dad said, don't invite me around people that I don't like. So I was like, who don't you like? Because see, here's the thing when it comes to Kenya. Because we haven't saw a lot of her family lately. Cousin Shay, I don't remember the last time we saw her cousin Shay. We saw a different aunt last season. We haven't saw Auntie Cisco. Shout out to Rox for that one. We haven't saw Auntie Cisco in a long time. Where is Auntie Cisco? Is Auntie Cisco still alive, y'all? Please let me know in the comment section if y'all know anything about Auntie Cisco. Aunt Lori, by the way. So Kenya then goes on to tell her dad that Mark filed for divorce. And, she tells her dad that Martin did that in retaliation for her sending him those custody papers, the papers about custody of Brooklyn. And I was just thinking to myself, like, Kenya, if he can do that to you, why do you want to be with him so badly? That is petty and childish. If you want to get a custody agreement with your child, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, Like if something happens to, like God forbid, something happens to one of you guys, you should have some kind of agreement in order and in place about what happens with Brooklyn. Like that makes I mean, Mark is really an interesting character. So she also tells him that he filed for divorce and asked for alimony. So that was his way of getting back at Kenya. I'm like, that is so childish. Like Kenya, why would you want to be with a man like that? I can't understand that for the life of me. Why would you want to still be married to a person like that? That man doesn't care. Like if he can do some stuff like that, that lets you know that he doesn't really give two, he doesn't give anything. He cares nothing about you, like nothing. So I can't understand why she want to be with him. So then she also tells her dad that, she is seeing a therapist, which is a good thing. I think that is great for Kenya. I think Kenya definitely needs a therapist. Hell, I'll even say I need a therapist. I need a therapist to deal with, the passing of my mother. I need a therapist to deal with my issues with my biological mother, which I actually don't have any issues with her. It would just be nice to have someone to talk to about the feelings that I've had. Because I do have some feelings about, my biological mother. I've always, it's kind of like with, and that's one reason, that's one thing that I can empathize with Kenya about. Now, my biological mother hasn't treated me like hers has, but she's not been the best person to me. We've had a falling out, and our falling out has been because she doesn't want to tell me who my biological father is. That's what our issue is. But I also have issues with her because of, giving me away. I'm the only child that she gave away. She had my brother, who was a year older than me. Then she came and had me. She was supposed to go back home and, graduate high school and then come back for me, but she never came back for me. And then my mom and I ended up moving back to Texas from Michigan, and my mom did give me back to her, but it didn't work out because the one night that I stayed with them, I cried the entire time, and my mom ended up having to come back and get me. And then, even after that, my biological mother, she went on to have, actually when she came back after having me, she got pregnant again with my sister, but my sister passed, she passed away. And then she had my younger brother, my younger brother who looks exactly like me. Then she had my baby brother, and she had my baby sister. So I've always just had that thing of, you kept all your other kids, but you didn't keep me. That's always bothered me. That always bothered me. Like, I grew up an only child, and then I found out that I have siblings at the age of 13 years old. So yeah, that's bothered me. So I like I said, I do empathize with Kenya, and I do get where Kenya's coming from. So she also said that Mark withdrew the divorce decree, but he's put it back on again. Kenya, this time, now that this man is going for divorce, just go ahead and give him the divorce. Give it to him, girl. Let him have it. Let him go on about his business. You have your baby. She's a beautiful little girl. Live your life. So we see Kenya, and she meets with her therapist, and Kenya is just trying to figure out, why does she continue to pick absentee men, men that lack emotion? That is a good question. But when Kenya was talking about that, all I could think about was her relationship with her mother. I feel like with Kenya, what Kenya is doing is just trying to fill a void in her life. And that is something that I do know all too well. I do know that feeling of trying to fill a void. You want to, like I tried to explain this to my birth mother, why it was so important to me to know who my biological father was. It wasn't for me to have a relationship with him. The issue, they get on my nerves. Why do they thump and bump like that? You would think they coming through my dang on walls. Okay, God, I'm praying to you right now. Send me the biggest sign you can send me if I should stay in this apartment once this lease is up, or if I should get me a house. God, I just can't stand these people above me. It's taking everything out of me not to, let the black side of me come out and get ignorant with them. It sounds like a stampede of elephants up there. These people frustrate me. They do this all day and night. One night it didn't stop until 1 o'clock in the morning. You know what? Yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I forgot where I was at. What was I talking about? See, that made me forget what I was talking about. Oh, Kenya. And I was talking about myself, right? Yes, I was. So it's a void. I feel like she's trying to fill a void. For me, like I said, finding out who my biological father was not to have a relationship with him. It's just like a puzzle piece. You wanna fit. You have that. You know how when you make a puzzle, and you have that one little piece that you're like, oh my God, where is this piece at? Where is this piece for me to complete this puzzle? And you can never find it. That's what that is like for me. That's what it's like for me, and I'm assuming that's what it's like for Kenya. She just wants to finish the puzzle. And since she's not going to have a relationship with her mother, she can at least have that with her husband and her child. But her husband is a piece of crap. So yeah, that's really what it is. And at some point, I know Kenya will have her aha moment, because I definitely had my aha moment. And it was at the worst time in my life when I had my aha moment. So my grandmother passed away in 2013. That wasn't my aha moment. And I still had my mom. So I was raised by both my mom and my grandmother. But my grandmother passed, I was still hurt. And I was still thinking about, and I actually told my biological mother at that time, I was like, see, this is why I want to know him. So that way, if I ever lose my mama, I can have, I would have you and my biological father, my biological parents, to at least, have in my life. But then when my mom passed away in 2017, that was the aha moment for me. I sat down and I actually started crying, because I asked myself, I'm like, when it came to my dad, I'm like, why do you want to know him? And then when I asked myself, I said, are you trying to replace your mother and my big mama? And when I told myself, no, I'm not trying to replace them, because no one could ever replace them, that was the aha moment when I was like, you know what? It's okay. I don't have to know him. It's fine. I have peace, because I had two of the most amazing women in my life growing up that nobody else can take that away from me, and no one can replace them in my world. They're irreplaceable. So that was my aha moment. Sorry that took me so long, but like I said, the people upstairs, they're very, very noisy, and it's 10 o'clock at night. Let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. Next, let's discuss Drew. So Drew and Kenya, they went out for dinner, and they discussed the trip. Honestly, I was confused the entire time watching Drew and Kenya. I understood where Drew was coming from. Drew also mentioned back at the trip how, one night the ladies were upset and crying, but the next day it's like, oh, where are the drinks? Let's have fun. No one's going to address what happened the night before, which is pretty fake. So then Kenya's talking to Drew about how, she felt that night when they went to dinner that Drew was basically calling her fake. Do I think that Drew was calling Kenya fake? 100%. She was calling Kenya fake. And Drew tried to explain it to Kenya, but it got to the point where they were both talking over each other. But Kenya started it first, where she was talking over Drew. It was a headache. 1 minute Drew's singing, then Kenya singing, Then Drew's talking, then Kenya's talking over Drew. Da da da. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? But Drew's whole thing with Kenya was the fact that, when she talked to Kenya and Kenya told her she was going to take the private jet, after that conversation, Kenya texted her and told her, don't tell the ladies. Well, Kenya says, the reason that I told you don't tell the ladies is because I planned on telling them myself. I'm like, Kenya, that's a lie. You did not plan on telling those women. But okay. Okay. But yeah, like I said, she also told Kenya that she felt like she was guarded when she was talking to Kenya about, her situation with Mark. Excuse me, y'all. That itched. Kenya said she wasn't guarded. It's just something that she couldn't talk about at the time. I don't know what the conversation was. I don't even know if they showed the conversation. I don't know. Here's the thing here's what really confused me. When they called for the waiter to, they called for the waiter. Oh, well, no. So when the waiter came with the check, Drew said, we'll split it. Kenya said, I don't split things. I was so confused about that. That's where I was confused about. You don't split things. I'm still confused. I'm still confused about the whole split thing. Because when I go out with my friends and I order something for myself and the waiter tries to bring a whole ass bill and they put the wrong things on, I'm like, oh, no. I'm not paying for that. That's not my food. That's her food or his food. He's paying for it. I'm paying for what I came here. Did Drew mean that they were like split? You split it and you split it. Unless what she's trying to say is, total it all up and we'll split it that way. Is that what Drew meant by split? Or did Drew mean I pay for what I had, you pay for what you had? That part confused me. That's what confused me. All right, yeah, I'm gonna move on because I'm thinking too hard on that. I think it's late at night. I think I'm thinking too hard. But let's move on. All right, you guys. So Marlo's harvest party. So Candy was the first person. I'm like, oh my God, Candy. You know what? Food had to be involved for her to be on time. It had to be food. So when Candy got there, she talks to Marlo, and we are on page 6. They are talking about the bachelorette party, and I don't know. She's talking about the fact that Kenya must have leaked this to the blogs. No shit, Sherlock. So then Kenya shows up, and Candace's like, I am really pissed off at you, Kenya, because this is all over page 6, and everybody is in the comments saying that it was probably me and Portia. Which, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So when I saw it on the Shade Room, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When they were asking like, who do you think it was? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. In the comment section, I did put Candy and Portia in. I did say Candy and Portia. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Be 100% honest with you guys. I literally in the comment section of the Shade Room said Candy and Portia. Because I'm like, who are the two people that we know that are the most free-spirited sexually on this cast? It's got to be, I knew it wasn't Cynthia. I know Cynthia said she's had experiences with girls before, but I knew that damn well it wasn't Cynthia or her getting married. So obviously it's going to leave us with Candy and Portia that had sex with each other. So yeah, I really thought it was Candy and Portia. But now the more I think about it, I'm still side-eyeing this. I don't know what's real and what's not real. Like, that's the issue that I have when it comes to this. Now Kenya is saying that she didn't leak it, unless if it was B Scott or some other blog she named, then it would be her. I'm like, but Kenya, you're the only one who was going hard about this whole who slept with each other, who slept with Bolo. Now see, here's the thing that bothers me. Like I say, I feel like they're leaving a lot of stuff out, and I don't know why. And because whoever leaked it to the blogs said that the two girls snuck off into a room together, and they were messing around with each other. And I'm thinking, like the story is just interesting when you really sit back and listen to it and think about it. The story is interesting. Because if you look at the episode, all Kenya said was she heard the noises, but the article is saying that the people actually. I want to look it up myself because I actually want to read I never read the article. Let's see. Page 6, Real Housewives of Atlanta stripper party. Okay, so this was October 7th. Are you serious? You don't want to open it? Why not? Oh, that ain't right. Did they take the story down? I guess they must have took it down. But the little snippet says Cynthia Bailey's bachelorette party took a wild turn with an alleged scandalous hookup. Whatever. All right, but yeah, it was in page 6. Yeah, I don't know if page 6 took the article down or what, but because I couldn't, every time I click on it, it says Safari couldn't find it. Now, when it comes down to this mess between Kenya and Drew, couldn't care less. So I'm not gonna talk about it. Portia, she was late to the pumpkin patch. I mean, she was super late. It was dark by the time she got there, and it was light when they was there. So once she makes it there, she, Marlo, Drew, and Shamia discuss page 6, and about it being, they all know it's Kenya who put this out there. Portia, like, she's just tired of it. I'm gonna be honest with you, Portia. At this time, I'm tired of it as well. So Marlo's talking about after the trip how Kenya didn't talk to her. She hasn't talked to Kenya, and she hasn't really talked to Portia either. She feels like the girls are just mad at her for making up with Kenya. I mean, I don't really care. Do you guys care? Not at all. Actually, guys, that's it. I'm really, at this point, I'm really tired of talking about this stripper gate. I'm really tired of talking about this. They did talk about the fact that Tanya went back to Canada. But you guys, that's the episode. Be sure to like this video, leave your comments in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell button so you guys are aware of when I drop anything else, and share this video. Until the next one, you guys, stay safe out there. Please take care of yourselves. Remember, wear your mask. Wash your hands, and socially distance. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. And also, you guys, go over there and subscribe to the Planner channel. And I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.